Hello, my name is Sasha Farba for TVP World. Now we're going to be focusing on Romania and security in the Black Sea and all around the eastern flank with our next guest here. Delighted to be joined by George Scutaru, CEO of New Strategy Center in Bucharest. Thanks so much for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you for being here.
Now, with the eastern flank, Romania is a critical, important piece. The Black Sea, very much a lot going on there. Tell us a little bit about how this security dynamic has changed in these last 2 years since the invasion of Ukraine, that Romania is there center stage, and what it's doing to counter Russia's aggression.
Yeah, the battle for the Black Sea is not over. Because in this place, Russia has acted kinetically, starting in 2008 and after with the annexation of Crimea in 2014. And comparing what's happened in the Baltic Sea, unfortunately, in this area, we didn't have enough cohesion among NATO countries. And you know the ambivalent attitude sometimes of Turkey towards Russia and towards the United States. And also from political reason and from historical reason, the ambivalent attitude of Bulgaria sometimes. And many times Romania has acted alone or has counted more on the United States only. And now we have a bigger military presence of France. France is the leader of the battle group, NATO battle group, located in Romania. And you have more than 1,000 French soldiers and officers. And we have a good American presence, and we have a presence, and we are very grateful to Poland because we have a contingent of Polish soldiers dislocated in Craiova, but also we have a contingent of Romanian soldiers dislocated in Secin. And this is a very important example of how we can share together the common threats, because we have a common enemy, we have similar security challenges, and it's necessary because both countries, Poland and Romania, have acted very mature. We don't trigger a booty contest between us, trying to be more favorable to Americans or to Germans or to Brussels, okay? It's necessary to work together because, as I mentioned, we have common threats coming from Russian side. What's happening in the Black Sea now? For us, the most important thing is to maintain the freedom of navigation. To have an open and free Black Sea, it's very challenging because of mines putting by Russians, because of electronic warfare activities, jamming GPS signal of vessels, like in the Baltic Sea also. But also you have the lawfare, and especially, you can see how often Russia has blocked perimeters under the pretext of naval exercises, naval exercises, trying to affect the freedom of navigation. We have very often the attacks of Russian drones against Ukrainian ports on the Black Sea, on the Danube. Sometimes it's happened that the distance between two shores it's less than 1,000 meters. And from Romanian shore, you can see the effects of the Shahed drones, Iranian drones delivered to Russia, and the effects of Shahed drones explode on Ukrainian ports. It's very difficult. It's very challenging. We try to assure for Ukrainian. We started in March 2022 with a transit of 300,000 tons of cereals through Romania. And we enhance up to 3 million tons per month in October last year. 70% of entire cereals export came through Romania. And even we had pressures from farmers, from truck drivers to change this policy. We understand how important it is to support Ukraine. And also we support militarily, not only economically. And by the way, we invest a lot to boost up our logistic framework. Almost 400 million euro were invested by Romania to enhance our logistic capacity to support Ukraine.
You've listed so many parts that I think really important for the audience to hear. And I think also, as you said, the incursions that are happening, the drone strikes close to your border, really close calls, those are increasing, jamming, you name it. Same in the Baltic. But at the same time, one of the largest NATO bases now being constructed in Romania as well. But you talked about this slight ambivalence of your neighbors. If we look at Bulgaria, some of that rhetoric from the president there is not really on the pro-Ukrainian side. You look at a border with Hungary, with Ukraine, but still very different rhetoric coming from Hungary. Looking at the wider Balkans, they're definitely not on the same page as Romania. So how do you perceive that as a Romanian, and what can be done to change the minds of other allies who are still not doing exactly what Romania is doing?
Our security interests are in the Black Sea and in the Balkans. And it's necessary to look to the Balkans because the Balkans could be the next spot of instability triggered by Russia. Look what's happened in Bosnia and Herzegovina and how close are the relations in between President Dodic of Srpska Republic, of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and President Putin. They try to disturb us. They try to undermine the cohesion among NATO countries, among EU countries, to undermine the transatlantic link. And also look what's happened in the Balkans, because you mentioned very well the ambivalent attitude of Hungary, but also you have Serbia. And you have not only a Russian presence or Russian footprints, because they are playing very well, trying to play on orthodoxy, to play on Slavic found heritage in this area, in the Balkans, but also you have China. And please remember that 1 month ago, President Xi has visited Hungary and Serbia, putting light on this region. And it's necessary to work closer because, and in this conference, we mentioned the importance of this link between Gdansk port and Constanța. And let's imagine this link faster and cheaper, by the way, to the western part of Ukraine. It's about economy, it's about military mobility. And it's necessary to advocacy together because up to Crimea or up to 2022, when a Polish minister or a Romanian minister or a Lithuanian minister tried to explain to the West what is in reality Russia or Mr. Putin, many of our Western friends considered, okay, we understand your thoughts or memories about Russia, but it's not necessary to be so hysterical. No. And now we can see what means Russia and what is Putin, frankly speaking. And it's necessary to work closer. And in Romania, for us, it's so important, it's crucial, this partnership with Poland. And we want to boost cooperation in military domain, also in military industrial framework, and in connectivity.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of connectivity, because I think you touched on a really interesting point, just a brief question about it, about building out infrastructure, rail infrastructure, transport infrastructure. If we look back just maybe about a year ago, there was much more on the 3 Seas initiative. I mean, that corridor up, we see also what's happening with Rail Baltica and the Baltics into Poland. How much of a security paradigm does the 3 Seas have now? Is that still something that should be focused on? Is that dead in the water? How does that fit into all of this on the eastern flank?
All these connectivity plans need a lot of money, and it's necessary to engage EU, and also it is necessary to engage United States. And we have a new commission, and we'll have, starting with November, a new administration, okay? A new Biden administration or a new Trump administration. But it's necessary to engage the United States for this project. But in my humble opinion, only Poland and Romania could be the engine of this initiative because they have enough power, a stronger voice at EU and NATO level, and we have very good relation, both of us, with the United States, but at the same time, both our countries count a lot at EU level. And it depends on us how we can invest better and more in this TRIS initiative because, first of all, it's dedicated to us from Baltic Sea to the Black Sea and to Adriatic. And this relevance is valuable not only for Poland and Romania, but also for our Western allies and from the United States.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. A new engine, Poland and Romania on the eastern flank, really interesting stuff.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing
Thanks,
all that
sir.
insight. Appreciate it. And thank you for watching. That was the Romanian voice for TVP World. My name is Sasha Farbach. Goodbye.